Hello and welcome, Lynx here. We are playing Maid with perfection. Episode 3, day 3, Monday morning. Let's go! The morning started with a surprise visit from the man who drove me here. He apparently was an instructor for the Maids and he came for an evaluation on Caroline. He approved at how clean Caroline kept the mansion. He had run his finger on every visible wood and marble surface, checking for dust, and found nothing. I looked to Caroline, who smiled at me, before nodding and watching the man finish his evaluation. For now she was passing her examination? Apparently he also knew about the quarrel between Angela, that bitch, and myself. He wished me luck, but reminded me not to overwork Caroline. I had to remember that. As he left, Caroline looked to me for her day assignment. Train! Of course. She nodded and headed to her room to train. Maybe she had some training equipment there. Maybe. I would not be surprised. I decided to take a bit of a pull myself. I needed to work out too. Let's go. As I passed the door that led to her room, I could hear Caroline punching at some sort of bag or mattress. Definitely bag. Probably slamming punches for strength and endurance. Nice. Afternoon, I'm gonna be like... she reappeared at my door with lunch. Got it. I ate it happily, of course. Oh, delicious. But I knew that I had to dictate what she had to do for the rest of the day. I'm gonna say clean, I guess. I decided to have her clean first. Carol nodded and took up a bag of cleaning supplies, focusing on the kitchen. I trusted Carol to clean everything up to par with how maids were supposed to keep the house. As the day started to end, Caroline fixed me dinner before excusing herself for the night. I yawned and went to bed. Myself, sliding by the day 3 into day 4. And that's Tuesday. I woke up the next day and stretched, yawning. I looked at the time, 9:30 in the morning. I woke up early, very early. Alright. I should not be pointing this out, given the fact that not many visual novels in general have clocks with indicators, but you know. If you have indicators, can't you like make them pointing to the same hour you are saying it is? Unless I guess it's the battery ran out, I mean, the only explanation here. Because what I see is 4 o'clock, more or less. Yeah, it's 4. I mean, is it exactly 4? Maybe. The minutes are pointing obviously now at like 0 or 60 if you prefer, but not sure if this is precisely at 4. Maybe, whatever, who cares. As a knock appeared at my door, I looked to them and said enter, knowing it was Caroline, that cutie pie. She entered the room with a tray covered in delicious breakfast food, and I of course ate every last bite with happiness. However, as I finished, she looked at me and surprised me.
Master, may I ask you something?
Go ahead, girl.
Huh? Sure. What's up?
Do you like me serving you?
Huh? What kind of question was that? Of course, I loved her serving me. Don't get the wrong idea. Not that she was like a servant or whatever, but she kept the house clean and was fighting to stay with me. She became important to me. Of course, I like. You serve me is great, but why would you serve me and fight to be here? Should I ask the question like that? Let's go. She looked at me before blushing wildly. What? Was the reason bad? She shook her head and looked up at me nervously.
Well, you see, I guess you interested me, Master.
What do you mean by that?
I interested you?
I interested you?
Yeah, and I kind of think you're cute. I, hope you don't mind.
You think I'm perfect. Wonderful. I love the fact that she thinks I'm cute. I kind of do. I'm sorry. I think you're cute too. That's my option, man. Her face turned red again as she fiddled with her hem of her dress. She looked even cuter than before. I almost wanted to pull her over and hug her. However, my mind ran back to the fight between Red and Caroline. That's right, she had to focus on winning the fight. Now was not the time for flirting and calling each other cute. She bowed to me and asked me to instruct her for the day. What should Carol do for the first half of the day? Train, I guess. I decided to have a train. Carol nodded and excused herself, leaving the room. Out of curiosity, I decided to find her and watch a bit on how she trained. She had been training hard and I was curious. She was a soldier after all. Would she be doing laps? Would she be hitting a punching bag? Or would she be doing sit-ups? She wasn't far. She was in the middle of the lobby, doing complete sit-ups on the floor. I could only stare as she continued to pull her upper body off the ground and up before letting me go back down. I wonder if she does the sit-ups how they teach you in school in general or not. Yeah, because at least in Poland, in school they tried to teach us with literally food being on the ground. I was never doing it like that. I always would look up my food somewhere higher. Like at home, for example, I do them in a way that my legs from, like, you know, where that knee bends up to foot is on top of the bed. Yeah. It works better in my opinion, like that. Because you also can create a like 90-degree angle, like from your stomach to basically where the legs bend upwards. Yeah. Otherwise you are going too far basically with the, you know, how they teach you in school. And I do believe that's kinda not a good thing. But whatever. Who am I to say that? She was doing this in a tight-fitted corset dress. How? I mean, I have no clue. I have no answer to that. Then remember that she was a trained soldier. That was really in her training. Yeah, I bet that's what soldiers do. They train in maid uniforms. I wouldn't know. I was not in training, okay? I only went through medicals when I was 18. That's it. I watched as she did 10, 20, 30. By 40 she was getting staggered breath. 50 brought soft sweat. I'm doing like 25. Do some exercise with dumbbells. 25 dumbbells. And that's it. Not that I do that often, sadly. But at least I'm running, well, regularly. I need more time. I had to admire her dedication. She looked so determined to get stronger and better. I felt kind of flattered, in a strange way. I said to leave her alone. I didn't want to break her concentration. Afternoon. As the afternoon started to approach, Carol reappeared at my door with lunch. How she managed to balance everything was a little fizzy, but I trusted her to do her best. What should Carol do for the second half of the day? I don't know, clean again? She nodded to cleaning and took up a bucket of cleaning supplies, cleaning the bathrooms today. I trusted her to clean everything up to par with how maids were supposed to keep the house. As the day started to end, Carol fixed me dinner before excusing herself for the night. I yawned and went to bed myself. Let's go day 5! Wednesday. I woke up to hear Caroline knocking at my door. Despite me not doing anything while I lived here, other than play video games, I got to sleep a lot. Yeah, it's surprisingly tiring when you do that, only that, right? Caroline brought in my breakfast and awaited my instructions. Train, clean, rest. I think we should train still, right? Or you know what, no, we got a CG, so maybe that's an indication. Rest, girl, now. I decided to have her rest. Girl nodded and excused herself to her room. I meant to spend some time with me. She definitely deserved a break. And in afternoon, she approached me with lunch. I ate it happily, of course. I knew that I had to dedicate what she had to do for the rest of the day, and we were gonna go clean. She nodded to look up her broom, cleaning the bedroom we were in. I played video games on my bed while she vacuumed and dusted, and I switched the floor when she needed to change my sheets. You'd do that yourself at least. I trusted Caroline to clean everything up to par with how maids were supposed to keep the house. As they started to end, Caroline fixed me dinner before excusing herself for the night. I yawned and went to bed myself. 2 more days! Thursday. I woke up the next day and started yawning. I looked at the time, 10:25 in the morning. As a knock appeared at my door, I looked to my door and said enter, knowing it was Caroline with food. She entered the room with a tray covered in delicious breakfast and food. I, of course, ate every last bite with happiness. However, as I finished, Caroline bowed to me and asked me to instruct her the day. As always, what should Caroline do for the first half? Train, I guess? I decided to have her train. She nodded and excused herself leaving the room. Out of curiosity, I snuck a glance out of my room and looked out to see Caroline practicing martial arts in the lobby. She had moved all of the furniture to do her training. And afternoon? As the afternoon started to approach, Caroline reappeared at my door with lunch. What should she do for the second half? Maybe clean again? I decided to have her clean first. Caroline nodded and took up her broom, cleaning the halls today. I trusted her to clean everything up to par with how maids were supposed to keep the house. As the day started to end, Caroline fixed me dinner before excusing herself for the night. I yawned and went to bed myself. Tomorrow was the last day for me before the fight. Oh boy. Friday. Oh crap. The morning started with a final surprise visit from the man who drove me here. Inspection time. Oh no. He was very impressed on how clean the mansion was. Let's go! Let's go. He almost ran his finger on every wood and marble surface, checking for dust, and found absolutely nothing. I looked at Caroline, who smiled at me, before nodding and watching the man finish his evaluation. As he finished, he gave Caroline a thumbs up. Did she do her part well enough to pass? She started jumping happily. I assumed that she did her job right and almost started bouncing with her. She wouldn't get taken away for skimping duties. After this inspection, he stopped to look at Caroline. I watched as he circled her and she stood at attention like a soldier to her sergeant. He smiled and nodded. Let's go! Placing her hand on her shoulder, Caroline, however, let out a tired sigh. For some reason, she looked more wiped out than usual. Oh goddammit. I looked at Caroline, not seeing the dark circles in her eyes. She did exhaust her, what? The guy looked at me with concern and I looked back at him with a gulp. Maybe I should have let her rest more between training and cleaning. As he left, Caroline looked to me for her dead assignment. Sheesh! Even on her final day, she was determined to win against Red. Girl, you are going to rest. I decided to have her rest. Actually, let's save just in case, maybe. Rest, girl. I decided to have her rest. She needed to relax before the fight. Caroline nodded and excused herself to her room. Now that I was alone, I walked back to my room to eat my breakfast and play some video games. Caroline definitely deserves a break. Yeah? Afternoon? But she still approached me in the afternoon with lunch. I ate it happily, but I knew that I had to dictate what she had to do for the rest of the day. I'm gonna let her rest once again. I mean, if the fight is tomorrow, she needs rest. She needed to relax before the fight. She nodded and excused herself to her room. I thought we would spend some time together. Caroline definitely deserved a break. As the day started to end, Caroline fixed me dinner before excusing herself for the night. I yawned and went to bed myself. Tomorrow was the moment of truth! The next morning was full of silence that sent chills down my spine. Today was the day Red and Caroline would fight to see who was the better mate. Obviously Caroline. I was confident in my girl. She had to win. She was so determined to win already. There was no way Red could match her. That's true. As Caroline entered my room with breakfast, she presented me with a letter with a red wax seal. I opened it and read aloud the contents of the letter.
Today's battle will take place in the designated area determined by the Code of Maids. Please arrive promptly by noon, or face losing your maiden title as per your disqualification.
Shut the fuck up, Red. What? Designated area? There was a designated area, what? I looked at Caroline, who closed her eyes and took a breath. I had to assume she knew where this place was, so I didn't ask. I dressed and ate quickly, not wanting to make us late. And off we went! The guy who had brought me here drove us towards the destination that I didn't know of. I sat beside Caroline as she stared ahead at the partition. I looked at her and wanted to speak, but I could tell that she was focused and thinking about the match. She must have been nervous as her hands grip the hem of her dress like vices. Leave her alone, please. Oh, dude. Place your hand over one of hers. I have to. I didn't want to break her foot, but I gently placed my hand over hers and gave it a small squeeze. She didn't break her gaze from the partition, but she released her dress and gently held my hand and squeezed back. I smiled. She knew that I believed in her, and my hand squeeze was my silent truth for her. I took her silent reply as an acknowledgement of such. We drove for a good half an hour before reaching a building that looked like a small arena.
What the? An arena?
As we stepped inside, we were greeted by a perfect circle of people and maids, either cheering or booing at our arrival. Probably mostly booing, let's face it, because she's a biatch, and so is her owner. I looked around and noted at least 30 nobles, with each having one of, or even two maids apiece. I suddenly felt incredibly small. Oh boy. I turned my gaze to across the small arena, seeing that bitch Angela stare at me from an elegant chair with Red beside her with her usual evil smirk, which will wipe off. I glared at Caroline and I walked forward towards the ring designating the fighting area. Angela stood and followed, Red a step behind her. When we reached the ring, Red and Caroline continued forward in the fighting arena, or should I say area, as Angela and I stopped.
Well, middle-class rat, I didn't expect you to show up on time. Usually, vermin scurry around and forget about important things like this.
Dude, we should just give her silent treatment like that. Or just punch her in that ugly face.
Not on your life. I may be from a working class, but I at least worked hard at what I did.
Hell yeah. You tell her, man. I mean, myself. So freaking true.
Red, make this quick. This fight will be finished within a minute.
That's right,
Do you
Angela.
understand?
I bet you inherited from your husband everything. Let's face the reality.
Absolutely, ma'am.
Red cocked her neck and grinned evilly at Caroline.
So I finally get to show you who the real best maid is. I've been so impatient. I almost snuck out of my master's home to fight you out of pure anxiousness.
Damn, you were so shitting yourself that you wanted to run away? That's interesting.
Whatever scare tactic you're using won't work, Red. I'm not afraid of you.
Oh, you should be. You really should be. After all, I don't intend to let you win. Your ass is mine.
Come and try to get it.
Angela stood back and crossed arms, and I stepped away from the ring, focusing on Caroline's back. She had to win! She had to win! The speakers around the arena awoke with the sound of blips clicking through the air. One blip and two blip. What? At the third, Caroline and Red charged at each other. Red unsheathed a knife and Caroline ran at her unarmed. What? With a swipe, Red tried to slash Caroline, but her dagger didn't make its dodging target as Caroline stepped back and started to move defensively. Caroline kept circling and stepping away from Red, trying to maintain distance from the blade that could end her career and her life. I stared and leaned in with anticipation. Caroline had trained really hard for this. She had to beat Red somehow. As Caroline began to come close to the arena ring line, she tried to twirl around Red, but she was blocked and dodged an incoming thrust of Red knives.
Hold still!
That's not how fighting works, bitch. Finally, Red closed the distance, trying to land her target perfectly. I tensed up. This couldn't be! You are in her zone. With perfect grace, Caroline was able to dodge Red's knife and disarm her as soon as they were close enough to almost collide.
What?
I knew it. As Red started in shock, Caroline began to slam punches and kicks at her opponent. Let's go! I watched in awe as Caroline took to a strong offensive. This was almost the complete opposite of how she fought a week ago. Instead of having a strong defensive, she was the one landing the blows at Red, who could only try to dodge or block with her hands. The keyword being could try. Red crouched down and swept a foot around to try and trip Caroline, but Caroline fled back masterfully and slid back in towards Red to continue her barrage of hits. Every hit Red threw at her enemy, Caroline was able to maneuver around and defend against it before attacking back and landing her hits perfectly.
Red, what are you doing?
She's getting her ass kicked as expected. With a loud cry, Caroline slammed her foot into Red's stomach and sent her flying out of the ring. Ooh, causing the speakers to blare a loud bleep and some of the crowd to cheer wildly, while the rest grumbled in defeat for betting against Caroline. Was I allowed to bet? The speakers sounded, declaring Caroline the winner in a robotic, red, strangely excited tone. What? What? She won? Red curled into a ball, holding her stomach as Angela ran to her, crouching down like a mother to her child. Yeah, highly doubt it. Caroline, however, turned back and ran to me with a happy grin.
I did it! I did it!
Instantly, she leapt into my arms, hugging me tightly. I caught her and spun her around happily. She did it!
You did it!
You did it! We held on to each other for a bit before I let her go, lowering her to the ground gently. We both smiled wildly at each other in pride.
Red, are you okay?
Yeah, ma'am.
Hopefully just a few broken bones. Carl and I looked over to see Red gripping her stomach tightly with Angela purely concerned, hovering over her mate. Red was coughing and I could tell that a rib or two was broken from Caroline's kick. Good. As much as I wanted to feel bad, she kind of deserved it. Hell yeah. I don't feel bad at all. Carol and I walked towards our ex-opponents, causing Angela to look at me. She didn't get it, however. She had a look mixed with concern for her mate and defeat over the situation.
I guess you do belong with us. You've trained your maid well.
Yes. However, it seems that you do not belong with us. Should we take a noble approach?
I didn't train her. She trained all on her own. She wanted to fight to stay with me.
Red looked up weakly at Caroline, growling. However, her face couldn't lie. She was defeated, and she knew it.
I guess I underestimated you. That's one hard-ass kick.
Or maybe you overestimated yourself.
It's fine. However, now you know who's the true top maid, right?
Hell yeah. I expected Red to speed at her or get back up for round 2. However, Red simply smirked.
Whatever. I'll change that someday. I swear on it.
No, you will not. No, you will not. No chance. I stared mildly surprised at the situation. I thought Red was evil. I thought she wanted to humiliate Caroline. She's kinda evil. Caroline smirked before crouching down and holding out her hands to Red, who took it quickly and shook it.
For now, you can be top maid. Keep the title warm for me for when I come back and take it.
Yeah, keep dreaming.
I'll wait until you try.
Keep dreaming. I looked to Caroline and smiled. She was kind, even to her opponents. Still, she worked hard to stay with me, and I was happy that she could. Caroline was with me to stay. When we went home, I couldn't help but let out a sigh of relief. Caroline got to stay with me, and I got to keep my title. And I don't have to work. I live in a mansion. I can play video games all day long. Let's go. Even more so, Caroline was happy, and I enjoyed seeing the joyful smile on her face the entire way home. As much as I didn't do exactly a lot, I still felt accomplished. As a representative for Caroline, I was proud of her. She celebrated by making a large cake for a dessert, and oh boy, was it amazing! I was stuffed and went to bed a very happy and full person that night. However, I didn't stay in bed for long, as a knock appeared at my bedroom door.
Huh? Come in.
What was Caroline up to? I thought she also went to bed. I guess we are going to sauna. My face turned red as Caroline walked into my room in just a towel. I do vaguely remember we have a sauna actually in this mansion, so... Her hair looked slightly wet, so you could tell that she had just come out of shower. Why wasn't she in her uniform? Maybe because she's not sleeping in her uniform, which is totally plausible. Caroline blushed as she closed the door and gripped to the towel around her. Ooh.
Master? Can I tell you something?
Sure. Yeah. What is it?
Caroline took a step towards the bed, causing me to stand from it and walk around in front of her. She kept her eyes down, but her face was as pink as a peach.
I want to thank you for directing me and helping me win.
I wasn't really directing you, so...
Huh? Oh, no. You trained hard and stuff. You totally had it.
Still, without your instruction, I would have worked myself to exhaustion, and I probably couldn't have won. I owe you so much.
Hey, you don't owe me anything.
True.
Okay? I wanted to help you, so I did because I care for you.
Yeah.
I care for you too. I mean, more so than I should.
I stared as Caroline looked up at me with a smile.
I know it's only been a week, but I've really grown to like you, Master.
Let's go.
You're kind and you take care of me better than I could have imagined. It's almost as if I'm not a maid.
I mean, was my thinking in general as you are not actually a maid? Maybe. I felt my heart flutter. Was this a confession?
I understand if you don't like me back, but I think that I like you so much that I could grow to love you.
As Caroline stared up at me, I felt my mind jump like it did the first time I saw her. She was so cute and she was smiling up at me with a cute blushing face. It was true, I found her cute, but I never imagined that she would confess to me like this.
So, Master, can I make a request?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Slowly Caroline raised her hands and wrapped them around my neck, giving me a shy look. My heart skipped at her request. Ooh.
May I have a kiss?
How could I say no? I gently wrapped my arms around her form and leaned in to kiss her, gently feeling her stretch up to brush her lips against mine. Her lips were soft and tasted like sweet vanilla, enticing me to press my lips against hers a little more to get more of her taste. I felt fireworks go off in my head as I kissed Caroline. She gently tightened her hug around me, matching my deep kiss. I felt her love in that kiss and I gave my love back to her in return. Caroline gently walked around while holding me, causing us to turn to where her back was to my bed. With a tug, she caused me to fall forward on top of her. I broke from the kiss and landed with my arms on either side of her, not wanting to crush her. And I guess we are going to sleep. I stared down at Caroline with a blush as she smiled and held her arms to me, inviting me back into her embrace.
I'm so happy, Master. I love you.
And then at that moment I didn't see my mate. I saw a woman that I cared for and liked, maybe even loved. She wanted to stay beside me and fought so hard to do so. I felt incredibly unworthy, but I didn't let that feeling shake me. I lowered myself down and kissed her, feeling her wrap her arms around me. She did indeed show me her love and happiness. I showed her mine in return. Who knew that a maid and a soldier could like someone like me? I was incredibly lucky. Hell yeah, you are. She was perfect. This house was perfect. My life had become perfect. Score! Best end! Mate with perfection! The end. Okay, so for CG fan, maybe I shouldn't have shown you this one today. This one from the first fight. I'm surprised the second fight didn't have any like CG. Should have shown how Caroline kicked the evil one. Sit-ups and why doesn't it work? Why? The last one doesn't work. What the heck? Alright. Sit-ups it is. GG's. Decent game. Decent game. I mean, this game has been released quite a while ago. As I already mentioned. In the first video out of the 3. By Michaela. It's probably Michaela. By Michaela Lowe's. The game was released. I don't know where. itch.io is not showing me the information about that on the phone right now. Somewhere in 2016 apparently, I think. What if I go VNDB. The game was released in 2015. That's when it was released. Alright. Not sure if March or July for. Maybe there was an update in July or something like that. Or something like that. But yeah, pretty good game. I mean, we won a lottery, which we technically did not participate in. And by that I mean me. So I won a lottery in which I didn't technically participate in. I didn't buy any scratch cards or whatever. I was just chosen by the nobles for some reason. I got a maid, I got a mansion. The maid had to train, had to clean stuff, had to rest, and be prepared for inspections of cleanliness of the mansion. Luckily we succeeded with that. She had to be trained properly, to fight properly. She managed that, she won her battle. She's the top maid. I guess we can... I guess I can also say now... girlfriend? Yeah? Man, maids are awesome. Not the old hog maids, but maids. Like Caroline. Yeah. We should play some more games with maids. That's for sure. But I already know what's the next game, by the way. We'll continue the dive into itch.io again. Because I've added a few new games. I already had some games like put aside which we'll be going through. So I know what's the next game. That game, the next game, is something I picked up from a bundle that at some point was given for free for some reason. So I got the game for free even if it is a paid thing. The game is also on Steam, the next one. There are multiple installments, but we'll play at least the one that I have. And in the future maybe we'll continue with some look into the other ones. But yeah, Maid Perfection, enjoyed it. Does it feel like almost 10-year-old game? Maybe. But super enjoyable still. And to be quite frank, would love to see the continuation in a way. To see how the life with Caroline went on. Would be nice to see that. Maybe like, you know, preparing her for more battles with other mates and so on. I think we would be able to manage that, the two of us together there. Yeah. Anyway, lovely game. Hope you enjoyed. Consider liking the video, subscribing and so on as per usual. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe if you are buying scratch cards or whatever, you will manage to win something. Maybe a mansion, maybe a mate. If you do, treat her with respect, obviously. And have a wonderful day. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.